Welcome to another rendition of Math is Easy Step by Step. So with this particular problem, I'm going to be working on the mean, median, and mode. And you really you have to have a great understanding of each. What the mean means, what the median means, and what the mode means. In order to answer the second part or the second question, given this particular circumstance. So this is kind of like a word problem. You're going to need to determine by reading through, and I'll read through a couple of times, explaining after the first time through what it is you really need to know, what you need to pay attention to. I also have a test taking strategy for the second question so you can eliminate one of the options, and I'll go through and I'll explain that in the next video, part 2 video. In this part 1 video, I'm just going to go through, read through the word problem, explain the chart or the plot line given, explain what that means, and go over the two questions with the two options. So thank you for joining me. Math is easy. Take it step by step. If you find this video helpful, please like, follow, and share these videos. I have a goal. I want to reach 20,000 subscribers or followers and earn 100,000 views. Really working hard on that, trying to help you all. So here we go. 10 students took a math quiz that had 10 questions. The median score was 5.5, 5 and a tenth, or 5 and 5/10, or 5.5 is also 5.5. The modal score was 6, period. The teacher recorded the results of the first 9 students in the line plot. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to show you the line plot, show you the questions. I want to come back and reread that and explain it a little bit more. These word problems are tricky. You know, not only do you have to know the mean, median, and mode, but you have to be able to understand, what are they asking? What are they telling you? What information do you have to use to answer the question? All right, so here is an example of a line plot. We have 1 through 10. All right, now this can be kind of tricky, and I'll go through and explain this in a moment, but all I'm going to do is just show you this is the line plot representing the number of questions answered correctly. All right, and here I try to give you a visual explanation. I'll come back and explain that in just a moment. And so, here we go. Here are the 2 questions that need to be answered for the assessment. What was the average score of the first 9 students whose score were on the line plot? So you see these marks? These are the scores on the line plot. You have option A, 4.9, or on option B, 5.4, option C, 5.5, option D, 5.7. Okay, and then the second part, what score did the 10th student get on the quiz? So let me go back up here, read through this. I got a test taking strategy for that second question, which I will include in the next video. But I want to read through this again and point a couple of things out. This could be very tricky. You want to make sure you're understanding what's happening here. All right. So 10 students. There are 10 students who took a math quiz that had 10 questions. So the math quiz, there's 10 questions on the math quiz. There are 10 students who took the math quiz. Let's read on further. The mode score was 6. The teacher recorded the results of the first 9 students in the line plot. So understand, this can be very confusing. I want to point this out to you. 10 students took the quiz. There were 10 questions on that quiz. But only 9, the first 9 students in the line plot scores were recorded. The median score of those 9 students was 5.5. I'm going to tell you now, but I'll explain later, that the median is the middle number, right? You take all 9 values on the quiz, you find the middle number, and it's 5.5. Median means middle number. All right, so modal or mode is the score most often seen. Okay, so remember, there are 10 students. Only 9 of the scores were reported on the line plot. The score most often seen was 6, and the median or middle score was 5.5. So let's take a look at this line plot here. Again, only 9 scores, right? There were 10 questions, and only 9 of the students' scores were reported for the number of questions answered correctly on the quiz, right? So this line plot represents the 10 questions those 10 students were asked, but only 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those questions were recorded on this line plot. Okay, I'll get to why that is in just a second. Now, I wanted to clarify what this number line means. It can be confusing. 10 students, 10 questions, right? And so this line plot represents the number of questions answered correctly. So when you see this mark here, that's 2 out of, oh, where am I? Oh, here we are. 2 out of 10, right? 2 out of 10 questions. 3 out of 10 questions. 4 out of 10 questions. 5 out of 10 questions. 6 out of 10. 7 out of 7 out of 10, right? 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, right? What do these marks mean? These marks mean the questions that got correct. So nobody got the first question correct because there's no X, right? There was, for question number 2, there was 1 person got 2 out of 10 correct. Question number 2. Question number 2, right, on the quiz. Question number 3, 1 person, 3 out of 10. Question 4, there were 2 out of 10. So 4 out of 10, 4 out of 10, right? Question 5, there was 1 out of 10. So that's 5. Question number 5 out of 10. 1 student got that right. 2 got question 6 right. So 6 out of 10, 6 out of 10 repeats twice, right? Nobody got question 7 out of 10. That's why you don't see any 7 out of 10s down here. Nobody got question 8 out of 10. That's why you don't see any 8 out of 10s down here. But 1 student got question 9 out of 10 correct. That's why you see 9 out of 10 here. And then you see question 10. A student got that correct. So question 10 out of 10 was correct. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 students and 9 questions answered. So this is what this represents. This represents the question, and then the X mark mentions the number of questions the students got right. When they're blank, nobody got question 1, 7, and 8 correct. All right, so I'm going to go back and use that number line again a little bit further. Stop, pause, rewind, fast forward. If you need to watch this over again, or if you understand, go ahead and fast forward here. So what was the average score? The average is the mean, right? So I'm going to take all of these numbers out of 9 scores, right? So 9 scores. I'm going to add up all of these values of the scores where the X's are and divide by what? 9, because there's 9 students, 9 scores. And I'm going to find the average. I'll go over that in the next part video. So what's the score did the 10 student get on the quiz? A, B, C, or D? That's a test taking strategy. I'll go over that in the next video. Thank you for joining.